dance every day for them busy, they campaign again. After they failed all the promises they made, oh, then they praise themselves. Why the masses were supposed to give them the praises we they here they run to? Who be that? I blame it on the religious leaders. I blame it on the traditional rulers. People were supposed to fight for the people, they don't compromise. Shame on the rebellious brothers. People will cry with us during answers. Today them don't join those oppressors, they eat jealous. Something done the smell of. Very soon now we go perceive them. We have up where this government they cause my time bomb. It go soon explode. Revolution they come more. It they very close and they feel more. When the power of the people we triumph, the power of the people in power. They no even care, they no even send. Say the people they die of hunger. Hungry dog is an angry dog. One day you go bite the owner. Idle man is the devil workshop. Many youths for Nigeria no good job. And the country the youths got no future. The country is gone, that's on period. Who be that? I blame it on the judiciary leaders. I blame it on the electoral officials. People were supposed to save the nation, but they collected bribe. Shame on the armed forces. People were supposed to protect the masses. One of them they shoot us anytime they hear our voice.
Kiwe wesu garani anya nine oria nine nke pụrịta kwasa mmadụ dị ndụ n'ihi na ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye na-agwọ ọrịa anyị wee na-akpọkụ gị onwe gị bụ simile nke ndị agha ka igwe mere anyị ebere ka akwa nke anyị na-ebe ka ude nke anyị na-asụ wee bịa n'iru gị ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee guzosi ike ka anyị wee n'ikpete mazụ nye ha sogotuto na nsọpụrụ na ịja mma site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi ise mma mma dịrị gị Chineke. Mama, the reggae.
What's that, Martin? We're not fighting each other. We know where we're going. We're going to get Biafra. There is nothing anybody can do about it. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. I need them to understand this. We've crossed the Rubicon, the point of no return. There is nothing anybody can do. If I'm alive, if I'm dead, if I'm wherever I may be, Biafra will come. If I'm dead, it's even better because it will come far more quicker. I can assure you. If Biafra is fighting for you, no one will touch your property. If you're fighting alone, you're bound to lose it. So Biafra is the best. We will become the 16th member country of ECOWAS. If Nigeria doesn't release those properties, then we'll take them to court and we'll get them back. Even twice the value. The Jews had investments all over the world. Most of the priceless artifacts and paintings belong to many families in Germany. It was stolen by the Nazi Party. Do you know that? Eventually they got everything back with compensation on top of it. That's what we're going to do. If you touch our investments, we'll come back for you. and we know who can get it from. So there is nothing for anyone to worry about. It's only if I'm not stopping you from being a Nigerian. If you are born on the streets of Lagos and you want to be a Lagosian and your name is Adama, oh well and good. There's no problem.
Welcome. Thank you for joining me on this very Saturday evening. It is weekend evening, Saturday, and I hope you have done well this very weekend for yourself. I know many people are busy, but as many as are able to still spend their time with me, I appreciate them. Mazi Akere TV, thank you, sir. I see you there. Thank you for your support. You are always there. I appreciate you for your support, always being there, sharing the messages and reaching out to other people. Thank you so much, Mazi Akere. And every other person that is watching there, whether you are commenting or you are not commenting, I thank you for being part of this program. This is our Saturday section, evening section. No, in the evening section, I don't spend much time. I spend 1 hour or a few minutes after one, and that will be off. So we're going to try as much as possible to do what we know how to do best, what we have been doing. The only assignment we have here is to present Biafra to the world as the only remedy to the failed state Nigeria. That is our message. In this platform, we do not come here to instigate violence. We do not come here to preach hate. We don't come to this platform to attack people or for individuals. We don't come here for any blackmail. We don't come here for propaganda. We do not come here for saga. What we do in this platform is to preach the gospel of Biafra, to present Biafra to the world as the only remedy to the failed state Nigeria. Now that the opportunity has presented itself, this is the time we are supposed to be speaking louder than ever. The opportunity doesn't come all the time. So whenever it comes, we have to use that opportunity and use it wisely. Today, we have the opportunity coming from the United States of America, trying to get into the issue and make sure that the terrorists that are terrorizing the citizens in the Zoological Republic of Nigeria, the terrorists that are attacking the Christians, taking the life of the Biafrans, they are taken out. It is a very great opportunity, and we have to speak more. Even though in their media, they also give us credit that we are the one who have been speaking about this since 2016. You can imagine something that the media is giving us credit for. Nigerian media could not speak about this atrocity. Atrocity have been going on, and all of a sudden, today, they say that we are the one that have been speaking. And I agree with them. There is no doubt about it. We have been speaking since 2010. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have been shouting, secure the people in the north, secure the people in the north. It is not today. So when you go to their conventional media and they say IPOB are in the front line that brought about what is happening today, I agree with them. And I'm very proud of every media warrior of IPOB. Every Biafran that is on the media, I am proud of you. I am proud of myself. I have been on this media for more than a decade. It doesn't matter how big the platform is. It doesn't matter how small the platform is. We know that when you are fighting the right cause, when you are on the right path, people is hardly pay attention to you. All it takes is for you to be sincere and remain consistent. I do not go with the flow. I don't go with the trending topics. I don't go with the flow. I go for my freedom. From the very first day I owned my camera, it is about my freedom and my freedom alone. I don't care what other people say. I don't care if everybody deviates and begin to do something different. I will continue to do my thing. I'm not going to change my system for somebody to come and follow me or for somebody to like my platform. No. This platform was built on the foundation of freedom, on truth, making sure that the plight of Biafrans is presented to the world. That is why I came online, and I will continue to be on that path. No matter the attack that is coming from east, west, north, and south, even from fellow Biafrans. Even fellow Biafrans, they are attacking us on our platform, but that doesn't make any difference. We will not stop. I have said it that the only time I will stop broadcasting is that when I found out that I can't have this platform anymore. But as long as I have a platform where I can come out and speak, if I have time, I will spend 24 hours talking about Biafra. If I have the opportunity, I will be here 24/7 talking about Biafra. But as Chukwu I have it, there is time for everything. So the little time I have, I will spend it here to speak about Biafra. And you know where we are today. The failure of the Nigerian system, the atrocities of Nigeria against the Biafran people, against our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is what we are here today to talk about. Every one of us saw what transpired in their court. Every one of us saw what happened in the court. So now nobody's going to be telling you or preaching to you what to say or what to do. We have now seen it clearly that Nigeria is not for we Biafrans. The injustice of Nigeria, the failure of Nigeria has now become something that the whole world have seen. So the opportunity we have today is to continue to hold our ground. Do not be deceived. Do not be distracted. Don't allow anybody to talk you down. You that you are watching this program today, wherever you are, you have a responsibility to tell the world your story. The people have told our story for a very long time, and we will not allow them to continue to tell our story. Today, we have taken charge of our story, and we are telling our story ourselves. That is why I am here every single day, telling my own story. You that is watching on the comment section, you have your own story to tell. You have your own story to tell. Feel free to join us in this platform. If you do not have a place to tell your story and you're looking for somewhere to tell your story, this platform is for you to tell your story to the world. As long as you have a genuine concern, you have a genuine complaint, eyewitness account. If you see something, say something. That is why this platform is here. It's a platform for public opinion. It does not matter what your own ideology is. It doesn't matter what your opinion is. Feel free to express it here. Nobody's going to stop you. I'm not going to stop you. The only thing we say you will not do is to insult anybody or to use vulgar words or to abuse anybody or push lies or propaganda against anybody. I will not allow that. All you have to do is to say what you know and forget about those things you don't know. You have a superior argument, bring it on. Bring it on. We are in a time where we can no longer pretend that all is well. So many things have gone wrong. But the opportunity that presented itself for everything to be corrected. The case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu yesterday was a very mighty exposition. They can't hide anymore. My fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom across the world, wherever you are watching from my end, I say good evening to every one of you. My people of truth and freedom across the world, what happened in Abuja is not just a court case. It is the exposure of system built on injustice, deceit, wickedness. Today we speak on the aftermath of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu case. A case that has shaken the conscience of the world, revealed that Nigeria has no law, no justice, and no shame. It is sad. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was not tried. Justice was betrayed in the court of Nigeria before the whole world. The courtroom has become a crime scene of lawlessness. Nigerian courtroom have become a crime scene of lawlessness. The world watched as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu appeared once again in Abuja High Court. Instead of justice, what we saw was persecution dressed in legal robes. Persecution dressed in legal robes. That was what we saw. No valid charges, no jurisdiction, no respect for international law. Yet, the Nigerian court continues this charade to please the political class. The same court that refused to obey appeal court ruling and United Nations directives continue to sit in contempt of global law. This is no longer a trial. It is a political persecution disguised as justice. That is what we saw in the court today. The judiciary in Nigeria has become an instrument of oppression, not a temple of justice. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu described it as a temple of injustice. And that is exactly what it is. And we saw it yesterday play out before everybody. The persecution of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is very glaring and clear, and the whole world have seen it yesterday. From illegal abduction in Kenya to extraordinary rendition into Nigeria, every step violates both local and international law. Every single step. He has been held in solitary confinement for years, denied medical access, stripped of basic human rights. His only crime is demanding freedom for his people, speaking against genocide and exposing truth. That is the only crime Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has committed. Those who looted billions walk free. Those who kill are pardoned. But a man calling for self-determination is caged. How do you explain that? They fear his voice because his voice speaks the truth. They are so scared to listen to the truth. The lawlessness in the Nigerian judicial system is smelly. The judiciary now bow to the executive's arm like a slave to its master. In a country where we are supposed to have three arms of the government, the three arms of government have become one. Judges are intimidated, threatened, and bought. Court orders means nothing. Human right means nothing. Nigerian constitution is now a tool of selective oppression. When a nation jails justice, chaos becomes its law. That is what you saw in court yesterday. That was what you saw in court yesterday. There will be consequence of the action of Nigerian court before the whole world. There will be consequences. There must be consequences. The international community can no longer pretend not to see what the Nigerian government is doing against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, against the innocent. As they have focused their satellites on the genocide against Christians and the move to make that correction, they should likewise flash their torchlight on the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and stop pretending. Nigeria has violated United Nations Convention on Human Rights, African Charter on People's Rights, and international law on rendition and fair trial. All these have been violated by the Nigerian court. This case is now a test of the world's conscience. This is a case of a test of the world conscience. Silence from global power means complicity. I say it and I say it again. If the world keep quiet now, tomorrow injustice will find its way to every corner of the earth. That is how it starts. When it was happening in Rwanda, they kept silent until it became obvious. Then they came and write a history. In Kosovo, they became silent until it happened. They write a history. It happened in Sudan, they kept quiet until it happened, and then They write a history. Not anymore. It will not happen in Biafra land, and we will not allow it to happen. That is why we are speaking out and we are shouting and at the top of our voice and calling the attention of the international communities to pay attention and do something now before it is too late. There is need for international intervention at this minute. There is no sensible person that will see what transpired in the court of Nigeria yesterday and we remain silent. Every one of us need to be calling on the international intervention. That is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu needs at this moment. Just like Trump have intervened in the genocide, he should equally flash his light to the persecution of the supreme leader of IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The abuse of his rights. It should be looked into. The United Nations, the United States, the European Union, and the International Criminal Court must rise now. ICC must rise now and hold Nigeria accountable. There must be sanctions, pressure, and diplomatic action against a regime that uses court as weapon. A regime that uses court, the hope of ordinary man, as a weapon against the people. There must be sanction. There must be pressure, and there must be diplomatic action. And the time is now. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be released unconditionally and all charges dropped, just like he said in the court yesterday. He should be released unconditionally and all charges dropped with immediate effect. The world must act before these lawless presidents become the new normal. Because that is Nigeria. The world must act before this lawlessness presidents becomes the new normal. Because in Nigeria, abnormality is always seen as normal. So many people have accepted their fates to continue to dwell in illegality, sponsor illegality, follow it, pursue it, and promote it. Because they are helpless. It is time for us to rise up. Justice delayed is justice denied. But justice perverted is humanity betrayed. Wherever you are, you must speak up if you care about humanity. There are so many expectations we are looking forward to. And the way forward. The Biafran people must remain united, peaceful, and resolute. Very important. My fellow Biafrans, we must remain united, peaceful, and resolute. It doesn't matter the camp you belong, whichever camp you belong, whichever title you give yourself, whichever name you give yourself. This is not the time for division. It is time for us to unite, speak in one voice, be peaceful and resolute, and call the attention of the international community to weigh in. We must not lose faith. We, the Biafran people, we must not lose faith. This trial is exposing the system. That is what is happening. The system that have kept us captive, the system that enslaved everyone, is being exposed. Every act of injustice against Kanu only strengthens the Biafran cause. The world is now watching. International media are taking note. Even though they are not speaking out, they are watching and they are taking note. Just like the case of the genocide of Christians, a time will come when they cannot afford to be silent anymore. As we speak, they are quiet. They pretend they are not hearing us. But a time is coming when they can no longer be silent. Keep speaking. Keep sharing. Keep mobilizing. Every one of us. When truth is persecuted, it grows stronger. When justice is denied, freedom becomes inevitable. Wherever you are watching this program from, Do not lose faith. I urge you in the name of Chukwu. Stay strong. This opportunity, we must not miss it. We must win the battle. My brother Gerald DK, thank you so much for joining. We must win the battle. It doesn't matter what the enemy says. It doesn't matter what they do. We must be strong and focused. The same way we are talking about the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and they pretend not to hear. They hear us. They pretend not to hear. The same way we are crying about the genocide in Nigeria, the genocide against Christians, we were talking about it, against the Biafran people, against the Christians, against the citizens of that country, the indigenous people, against the indigenous people in Nigeria. The genocide against the indigenous people. We have talked about it a lot. But thank Chukwu Okama today, they are speaking about it. I thank Chukwu Okama that Donald Trump have taken that bold step. They tried as much as they can to stop him. But Chukwu Okama helped us, and they were not able to succeed. And they will never, ever succeed. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. We are waiting and we are hoping that Donald Trump will take the action as soon as possible, because the zoo will never repent. The Zoological Republic will never repent. These are unrepentant souls. They will never repent. If you think they are going to repent, they will never repent. So action should be taken with immediate effect. We are going to go to their media now. We are going to see what the version of their media. You know, I always go to their media to bring their program so that we will know what Nigeria is presenting in their own media, so that we can counter them and also show to the world the real truth and nothing but the truth. And those that have positive thought, we also present them so that the world will know that there are still people that their brain is working a little bit. The atrocity happening in Nigeria is so much that it cannot be overlooked. So we are going to go into the perspectives that is coming out from Nigeria. We are going to bring it up so that the world will hear and see what they are saying in their own media and what the Nigerian people are thinking and feeling. Let us listen to these perspectives from their own media in the Zoological Republic. Go on.
Welcome back to Perspectives, Your Rise News. Over a week ago, US President Donald Trump made remarks about the ongoing killings in Nigeria, warning that if the violence continues, America may be forced to step in. The reactions here were sharp and divided. Some called it interference. Others said it highlighted a reality we have avoided for too long. But at the heart of it, Nigerians are dying. Christian and Muslim communities have both been affected, and the groups responsible continue to operate under ideological labels we often hesitate to name. If we continue to argue about the messenger instead of the message, the violence will continue. If we can downplay the victims because of politics or identity,
that is what they're doing.
The cycle will deepen. And if we continue to avoid difficult truths, we risk normalizing what should never be normal. This is about one country, our country, and the value we place on human life. It is about whether every Nigerian...
I want you to pay attention. Every single thing this lady mentioned is what Nigerian people are doing. They are downplaying it. They are blaming the messenger, and they are doing nothing. They refuse to name the perpetrators of this very crime. They refuse to name it. When you mention the name, they don't want to hear it. They will tell you, why did you say it? They continue to pretend that all is well when there is problem everywhere. Every single thing this lady complained here is exactly what the Zoological Republic is doing. That is exactly what they are doing. I want you to listen again. Listen to the points she's making.
Ongoing killings in Nigeria, warning that if the violence continues, America may be forced to step in. The reactions here were sharp and divided. Some called it interference.
Some called it interference.
Others said it highlighted a reality we have avoided for too long.
A reality that has been avoided for too long. That is what it is. That is the real thing. That is the truth and nothing but the truth. A reality that they have avoided for too long. That is the truth.
But at the heart of it, Nigerians are dying. Christian and Muslim communities have both been affected.
Agreed.
And the groups responsible continue to operate under ideological labels
Exactly.
we often hesitate to name.
Exactly. They continue to operate under an ideological riddles that they refuse to name. That is the ideological riddle that Donald Trump named that they want to crucify him. The bandit, the terrorists continue to operate under an ideology which nobody want to mention. They don't want to call it. Nobody want to mention it. Nobody want to talk about it. Donald Trump was bold to call it Islamic fundamentalism. That is what it is. The extremists. That's what it is. But they refuse to name it. You look at the confession of that girl. They run away. Nobody wants to name it. And when you mention it, you become a bad person. A truth that you cannot hide. Trump named it. I love this very illustration, how this girl put it forward. It can't be better than that.
We continue to argue about the messenger instead of the message.
They argue about the messenger.
The violence will continue. If we continue to downplay the victims,
that is what they are doing. They downplay the victims.
The cycle will deepen. And if we continue to avoid difficult truths, we risk normalizing what should never be normal. This is about one country, our country, and the value we place on human life. It is about whether every Nigerian, regardless of faith, region, identity, or class, is entitled to safety, dignity, and protection under the law.
Yes.
Today, we are not defending Trump. We're not defending the government. We're simply confronting the moment we are in and what it means for our security and our unity and our future.
This is what the media is supposed to be doing. This is what the media is supposed to do, not defending the government, not even defending Trump. Face reality, the reality of the day. This is what we are talking about. But go to Nigerian media, 99% of them are defending Trump, including this very station that is speaking, including this station. In all their program, 99% of their program is in defense of the government. They have been conditioned. You must protect your government even when the government is faulty. Meanwhile, you are supposed to be the voice of the masses. This is the evil that bedevils Nigeria. Why Nigeria can never, ever, ever survive.
We're heading for a short break, but stay with us because coming up shortly after now will be a catch-up of what's happening in Abuja State with Arise correspondent. We're simply confronting the moment we are in and what it means for our security and our unity and our future. We're heading for a short break, but stay with us. Security experts Chidi Omeje and a social critic and activist Peter Eka. Good morning and good to have you both on Perspectives this morning. So let me start with you, Peter. Trump's statement has split opinions. Yeah. There are those who say that he had no right to tell us how to rule our country, and there are those who are like, we need somebody to come and tell us what we need to do. So there's a split. But what's your view? What does this comment reveal about our national security at large?
Thank you very much for having me. I think I stand with the Nigerian people. I stand with the victims of this senseless killing and of innocent Nigerians, and whatever pressure that will be needed to put on our government to do what they ought to do should be done. I think the events of the last few days have been a monumental tragedy. It's a disgrace on every level that it took the intervention of a foreign government to put pressure on the Nigerian government to take seriously what the Constitution describes as the primary responsibility of government, which is the protection of life and property of the citizen. And nobody should question the intervention of the United States. The current president, when they were in opposition, they went in 2014 to the United States of America on the same killing of Nigerians, demanding or requesting for intervention. And so when a man's house is on fire, whoever that helps to put it out, that is the interest of the person. So as it is today, the question is, The US president said the Nigerian government should move fast. So the pressure should be on the Nigerian government to move fast, because I mean, if it were in other crimes, there should be some resignations at this point. Because when you have a series of events where citizens are being killed and there is no action from the leadership, or rather actions that seem to suggest that leaders are rather complicit in protecting criminals or giving them, a soft landing as against protecting innocent citizens. I think it is a monumental tragedy, and whatever that needs to be done. I mean, we are able to take grants and loans and whatever from the United States of America, so we should be able to take their warning and move fast. So President Bola Tinubu, wherever you are, you should move fast to end these killings.
Okay, it's good that you said that. Let's have Chidi in the house. Chidi, are you there? Okay, Mr. Chidi, it's so good to see you this morning. Okay, you just heard what Peter Eka just said about this wake-up call. So from a security standpoint, do you think that comment was an attack on Nigerian sovereignty? That's Donald Trump's comment. Was an attack on Nigerian sovereignty, or a wake-up call showing that the world is now noticing what we are denying at home?
By the way, Peter, good to have the platform with you. You're one of my favorite activists, so I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, my pleasure.
From the state sovereignty perspective, you would, you will want to agree that the threat, or rather the proclamation by Trump, let's put this way, the direct threat, as far as I'm concerned, is somewhat, if you want to look at it clearly, it points to violation of our sovereignty, because sovereignty means that a particular country has the right over its territory, over its internal contradictions, over its conflicts and all that, so that it only takes the United Nations Declaration or permission from that particular country before any foreign entity can come in. But then, that's where that ends. There's also an evolving, United Nations treaty, what they call it, responsibility to protect R2P. What it says is that if a country hides under that sovereignty claim to allow for a perceived genocide or gross human rights violations, that international communities, powers that have the right to intervene. So in this point, in this perspective, you now see that probably Trump's threat is more like a symbolic, wake-up call for the country, for the administration of this country to sit up, to face the reality that indeed there are certain issues going on that are inimical to global peace, that are inimical to human rights, that is not acceptable. So we have to be very careful about this. The excitement is there, and I could see even from the tone, from the voice, from out there in the street. A lot of people think that this is the best thing we've ever heard. In the middle belt out there, probably in Plateau, in Benue, a lot of folks are almost celebrating that indeed maybe God have heard their prayers. But if you sit back and have a sober reflection of this, you see that it's not always good to have foreign powers coming into a country to do this kind of intervention, because they never left any country in better shape. So for me, I think the best thing what has happened now is a clear wake-up call. And by the way, haven't you seen that the past week or two since this issue started, that there has been, some mellow. We don't talk so much about 2027 or the commitment to APC. I think everybody is now focused on what Trump has said. So to me, if this Trump's intervention will bring us back to our senses, to know that we have an existential challenge, we have a serious security problem, then so be it. But as far as I'm concerned, Trump's statement is a wake-up call. It's a clear wake-up call, and it has actually, woken up our interest, our conscience to see that indeed certain people are going through a lot in this country, and it's very clear to see. Okay, and the country is not normal.
Thank you, Chidi. Let's get back to Peter in the house. Why are Nigerians angry at the messenger instead of the message? Do you understand? Despite now replacing urgency in our country. And then secondly too, They keep going on about, oh, it's not just Christians that were killed, it's also Muslims. But the truth of the matter is that nobody's talking about the originators of the killings themselves.
Exactly.
Very important. I mean, it is not about whether being angry at the messenger or taking the message. You cannot even be angry at the messenger because, as the other, my colleague has rightly said, there is a responsibility to protect under the United Nations Charter, and that a foreign government can step in. The US has invested a lot. A lot of our military officers are trained in the US, trained to handle their equipment. They sell most of our weaponry hardware from the United States. And if the government of the state seems to be, folding their arms while these kind of issues are going on, perceived genocide, and all of these kind of hate crimes and events, there is a responsibility to step in. And then if we talk about, Muslims being killed and Christians being killed, the fundamental question will be, who is carrying out the killing?
Exactly.
And then if we now agree, because what it seems now is like, it is more shameful. Our response is not that there are no killings. It's that,
This is the question that is seeking for answer. I just said it before I started this program. Who is the one killing? It is not a question of, say, oh, they kill Muslim, they kill Christian, they kill Hindu, they kill traditional religion. Who is the one perpetrating this atrocity? I asked that question in this program before I started. Are they wearing masks? Don't they have name? I ask that question every day. This morning, I still ask the same question. Why is it that they are shying away from mentioning the killers? And you see Donald Trump mention the killers, that he's coming after them, and everybody get angry. They come online, they say, why must he mention them? Why must he describe them? Why must he ascribe them their names? And that is when you know people who are unserious. That is when you see people who are culprits. That is when you know the people that are sponsoring the terrorism and benefiting from it. This is the question. Let me hear if they will mention it, because I know they will not.
You are not even saying it as bad as it is. So Christians are being killed, Muslims are being killed. Now the question will be, if Christians are being killed, Muslims are being killed, who has a problem with coming in to take out the killers? Exactly. I think there should be a mutual agreement that, oh, look, everybody is a victim of this issue, and then the terrorists themselves should be taken out. Who are the sponsors of terrorism? Who are the beneficiaries of terrorism? There is a track record. President Buhari, under President Jonathan, terrorists were almost confined to the...
You see, when they talk, they will still dodge that. Who is the one conducting this killing? There has never been anybody that came to the media to mention them. Even as they are talking, they will never ever mention the people doing this killing. They call them terrorists. Who are these terrorists? Who are the ones providing these food soldiers? Who are they? Why is it difficult for people to... Who are they? We see them on video. We see them in pictures. They make videos. They organize. They talk. They move in convoy. We see them. Who are they? Nobody can be bold to mention them. Only Trump did. And that is their anger in Nigeria. The anger of Nigeria is, why did Trump call the terrorists who they are, mention their name? Why did he? No media will. You see them, even in their studio, as they are complaining. They narrow it down. Who are they? They narrow it down and they give them that name, terrorists. Who are those terrorists? Are they invisible? Are they not human beings? We have seen governors come and say they know them. They know where they live. They are their brothers. They are their friends. We have seen people say it online. But they don't want to mention it. When you mention it, they call you a bad person.
We had the infamous Sambisa forest. Today, under the APC government, terrorists are holding stakeholder meetings with security officials and government. So we have a situation where we have security and insecurity officials holding meetings, brandishing and giving advice on how it should be run. President Buhari took out $1 billion from excess food account and invested in insecurity. Somehow it exploded. When it was under Jonathan, where the President Tinubu now called on the competence of President Jonathan and asked him to resign, insecurity was almost localized within the northeastern region. Under the APC, the military is in active service across 36 states and the FCT. So right now, as it is, the question will be, what exactly is being done? And then you come as a president under this kind of administration, you outsource issues of defense to the National Security Advisor, and guess what? The president is chairing the Ministry of Petroleum. In a country where the last time President Tinubu traveled on a vacation, more than 100 persons were killed in a space of 2 days. That president is heading Ministry of Petroleum and not Defense as Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. So when you see this level of mischief across board, people are being killed, bandits would hold peace deal, the next day they are also carrying out attacks. It calls to question the capacity of the government to protect its people. So the same question that President Tinubu asked the Goodluck Jonathan administration should be thrown to him. Has the APC-led federal government lost the capacity to protect Nigerians? If so, then they should take the advice they give to the administration. But if not, please heed the advice of Mr. President Donald Trump and move very quickly to end this killing.
Okay, let's get back to you, Peter. You know, how do we separate Islam from extremism? Because without, how do we do that without demonizing peaceful Muslims themselves?
Yes.
But
That
yet,
is the problem.
not allowing extremists.
Let me
to
hear
hide
what
behind
you will say.
religion. How do we find a balance?
We must be honest with ourselves as a people. There are the majority of Muslims. I have Muslim friends. We relate with them. They are peace-loving people who just want the country to thrive. The question is, there is a problem when you always need to say that a religion is a religion of peace. That statement in itself, because religion should not be otherwise. And the leadership of, the northern part of the country must be honest with themselves. Is illiteracy and certain social vices being weaponized against the people? What kind of Islam, we must ask ourselves, is practiced in Qatar? What kind of Islam is practiced in Saudi Arabia? What kind of Islam is done in United Arab Emirates and in Bahrain that are moving technologically, growing and prosperous for across the cities?
Ask yourself.
How has our own religion only turned out to produce insecurity, poverty? How many of the children of the elite northerners are engaged in the kind of Almajiri system that they push forward? So we must come to the understanding that every person who is at the baseline, who is not at the upper class of society, is a victim. Religion is only being used as a cloth to cover. Both Christians have been killed, Muslims have been killed. And if you know truly, remember the incidents that happened when Deborah Yakubu was killed in Sokoto State, yes, stoned to death. Who was arrested? How many people were prosecuted? Some northern leaders who put out the tweet had to delete it for fear of backlash. There is a problem with that kind of society. In 2016, Deaconess Olawale Eunice, a Redeemed Christian Church of God evangelist in Kubwa, was butchered to death. Who was arrested? Who was prosecuted? The vice president in that administration was a redeemed pastor. What was done about it? So when there is a track record of a failure of the judicial system.
You see, all the example this guy gave now, they are all Christians. They took their life because of their faith. All the example. But now, tell me why they were taken, their life was taken. It is because they are Christians. And the people that took their life, we are representing Muslims. We are shielded by the Muslims. We are shielded by their brothers. But when you say it, they get angry. If you are not part of it, why are you supporting it? Why are you not fighting it? This is why we say, Donald Trump, please go a step further. Disintegrate Nigeria. Let everybody go their separate ways. We do not have the same value system with the people in the core north. The people in the core north will be comfortable in their caliphate under Sharia. Allow them to practice it. Don't stop them. Allow them. Allow them. There is no way you can stop them from practicing. They have already put it in practice. It's already law. It is already a law in their states. So why are we disturbing ourselves? There is no point. If left for me, I will say, forget about the bombing. Let us come in a table and discuss. Let everybody go their separate ways and protect their borders. As simple as that. Everybody break it up, everybody to attend to Israel. Simple. And people will have peace, everlasting peace. Every region will learn to protect themselves by themselves. But even if you come, you take out these people, they will never go away. They will never. Already they have started preaching another message. That one, I think, tomorrow on Monday, I'm going to bring one of the messages that a woman is preaching. They are already planning attack against Christians if the U.S. intervene. Now they are already interpreting it that the U.S. is intervening. And for that, the people, the terrorists that the U.S. want to take out is their brother. And they are ready to fight for them. You see? You see why we say the best thing is allow them to enjoy what they want to enjoy. Only them. And allow the people in the south, Biafran land more especially, to go their separate ways and be on their own. If you find yourself in a territory where you cannot be able to practice what they are practicing, you live there. There are Nigerians that have nationalized in the UK, nationalized in the US, and they are not ready to come back. You can equally nationalize, either you go to Yoruba land, Republic and nationalize, you go to the Middle Belt and nationalize, or you come to Biafra land and have your peace.
Where there is selective justice, then everybody becomes a victim. At this point now, if Christians, or there is a perception there is Christian genocide, and then Muslims also believe that Muslims are being killed, is it not an opportunity for everybody to unite and all victims? Let us take this out. So it lies on the leadership of even both religious sectors and also the people to know that in the end of all of this, when said and done, those of us who do not have the opportunity, in Nigeria, one of the offenses you will commit is to be poor. Whether you are Islam or Christian, the only thing who that Sharia one time has caused was somebody who stole, his hand was amputated. A girl in the north was caught on camera receiving dollar and stacking his car. The president at the time said that the video was probably doctored. So laws are meant for the poor. So you can even recite the Quran from back to back, but when it comes to the issue of dispensing of justice, you may not be held to the same standard with an elite or somebody of opportunity.
It's good that you mentioned that, because there's also the speculation that some people in power actually encourage this conflict.
Yes.
Because what's your take on that?
It is.
And there are also those who believe that the governors of the states where these things happen should be sanctioned one way or the other when these occurrences do.
Anti-rules. I think it was the late Sani Abacha who said when insecurity lasts beyond 24 hours, then there should be the hand of government in it.
Yes.
The former Nigerian Minister for Defense, our first Minister for Defense, T.Y. Danjuma, stood on a platform in Taraba and made a bold statement. He said the military, they are not neutral. They collude with the terrorists. A Minister for Defense. What was the investigation that was carried out? We have seen pictures and videos and allegations of where terrorists were found in certain government houses and nothing was done about it. So when there is a perception that instead of protecting life of citizens, persons in government, why is it that insecurity has become almost a multinational economic investment? The more money you pour into it, the more it increases. So definitely it has become business. So if you can allow this kind of criminality to fester, the same Nigerian government that rejected the intelligence of the United States decided to start Operation Safe Corridor. How do you do repentant terrorists in the middle of a war when the victims of their killings and terrorism are still languishing in internally displaced person camps in conditions that are subhuman? That same country was spending billions rehabilitating known terrorists. Allegations with even engaging them into the country's armed forces, and you say there is no collusion.
It's not an allegation. It's not an allegation.
So until Nigerians realize that this is what is being said is less than what is not said. For the past, you know how many days now you can see the government running from pillar to post. For 2 years, you needed President Trump to tell you before you can appoint diplomats. We had no ambassadors manning our embassies across the country. The president they are more concerned with trying to pull people from one party and entering into the APC so that you can begin to sing your mandate you shall fall. It is a colossal failure and a shame. But Nigerians must wake up and save ourselves.
Okay. Let me get to our Abuja guest. So Chidi, you've heard what Peter has had to say so far. But I want to ask, because there was an allegation that an American captive was once held by Boko Haram, and America, within 2 days, not 2 months, not 2 weeks, within 2 days, rescued their citizen. So what I want to now ask is that if the US can rescue its citizens inside Nigeria within days, what stops deeper intelligence sharing? What stops them sharing that with us?
Share waiting with you.
Is it lack of trust or political obstruction?
I'm
confused.
Share waiting with you. What do you want to share with you?
Oh, well, I mean, picking up just one victim of kidnap is not the same as dealing with an entire, gamut of, the kidnap industry.
No, it's the length of time in which it was done. In the length of time in which it was done, this was 2 days.
Right.
So that means,
but in any case, look, I get your point, but the thing is, we have to really come down to where we are. We are Nigeria. We're not United States of America. We've not gotten the kind of technology that they have. But what we should be talking about now is how do we? Yeah, definitely. That's what I'm coming to. You got it spot on. The point we are right now is the point where we can, seek for robust collaboration with America or other
God forbid.
the other powers that have the capability to help us. As it is now, it's not. I don't think that doing it alone, by us, is the right way to go. But I always urge that this idea of this excitement about America coming to do the job for us without our permission is not the best way to go. What we should talk about is how do we develop a robust structure to see a collaboration between America and Nigeria to see that they can share their technology, share their intelligence, share their experience,
share
and
technology
probably
with others.
give us those leverages that can help us. I do not foresee a situation where we have foot on the ground or have American, military camps across Nigeria. It never spells good for us. But look, the goal is actually to see how we can surmount these security challenges across the country. So any way the Americans can help us by making sure that we defeat terrorism is what every discerning Nigerian is talking about. But you see, we have to look at the bigger picture. Yes, you consider the immediate. Yes, you see the leadership failures. Yes, you see the incapabilities of some of our security agencies. Yes, you see the poor security architecture that have made it possible for us to rely only on the military, playing down on the role of the police. We have to see that we have to stop that idea that the military, the security, the intelligence and response agencies are not collaborating well. How do we threaten this? These are the issues we're talking about now. I've gone beyond the excitement about the fact that Americans say they are coming. I don't think that's what exciting. What should we be talking about right now is how do we make sure that beyond the euphoria, beyond that anticipation, that we can get something on a sustainable basis without actually impugning on the integrity of our sovereignty. This is what every nation should look at. I'm looking beyond the immediate immediate administration because the crisis didn't start now. Now, if you look at the charges from the American side, they actually talked about from 2009. So meaning that this thing has been a cumulative issue that I've come to a point now. So I am looking at where we are right now and where we ought to be in the nearest future. But of course, I'm mindful of the fact that a lot of Nigerians need that respite. There are people who are actually under terrible condition, that brought about by these security challenges. So any which way that we can stem the tide, welcome by me. But I'm only saying, let us look at the bigger picture. If we think that the best thing to do is to bring foreign boots on ground, at the end of the day, it might turn out not be the best option. So that's exactly what I'm trying to make.
Thank you so much, Chidi, for your deep analysis of this situation. I wish we had a much longer time. Unfortunately, our episode was cut short because of the Anambra elections, and I hope to invite you again for us to speak more on this issue. Thank you so much, Chidi, Emeje, and thank you so much, Peter Eka. I cannot wait to invite you again for another fiery episode. Thank you. So what happens next will define us. Not America, not the international community, us. The world may comment, it may criticize, it may even offer assistance. But the work of protecting Nigeria belongs to Nigerians. And the cost of doing so is already too high. And as I keep saying, life is a learning curve. I hope we'll have learned a thing or two from this Donald Trump's message. That's all we have time for today. You'll be watching Perspectives on the Rise News with me.
You have had them. That is where we are. You heard it. Why I go to their studio to bring their program is for you to know how they present their thing. They will never tell you who the terrorists are. Even the presenters, you see the way they are presenting their case. They talk and talk and talk and talk. They are killing Christians. They are killing Muslims. Agreed. Who are those people doing the killing? Who are they? How do you identify them? What are they seeking for? What are they looking for? Boko Haram. Looking for Islamic State. And yet somebody will come and tell me it doesn't matter. Donald Trump called the name. You say doesn't call the name. You come and you lament, asking for giving you details, information. You said some of the idiots come online here and they say that America didn't have enough intel. And now you're asking America to share information with you. America cannot be that dumb or stupid to do that. They have been doing it for decades. They give you arms, you hand it over to the terrorists. They give you information, you give it to the terrorists. And you want to continue on that route. Donald Trump is not dumb and is not stupid. And all we are asking, end this Nigeria, let everybody protect themselves. That is the only solution. End the contraption called Nigeria. Divide the country according to value system. Divide this country according to value system to your tent, O Israel. That is the only alternative. And throw that name to the trash. Until everybody begins to speak about this disintegration, the problem will continue. We did here. When we started talking about this very genocide in the north, nobody was paying attention. They feel it doesn't matter. Nobody cares. Today, it is in the mouth of everybody. Very, very soon, it is going to be worse than what you are saying. I appreciate everybody that have joined me this evening. You know, our evening program is just 1 hour and we have ended our program. I thank you all for joining. I appreciate everybody who have contributed one way or the other. I wish you all a very, very happy weekend. I thank everybody who has joined. My brother Gerard, I wish you a wonderful weekend. My brother Gerard, thank you so much for being there. And every other person that is out there watching, I wish you all a very wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for being part of the program. And I will see you again tomorrow evening. Tomorrow morning, I'm not going to be online because I'll be going to church tomorrow morning. Then evening, I will be here for the Sunday sermon. And we will continue to preach this gospel. Unstoppable. Unstoppable. They can't stop us. Thank you so much for joining. May Chukwu Okukabia guide and protect every one of you. And may Chukwu Okukabia guide and protect our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. May Chukwu Okukabia guide and protect our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoko. No weapon formed or fashioned against them shall prosper. They will join us very soon and we will all celebrate together. Thank you so much for watching and see you again tomorrow evening. Stay blessed. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Nigeria don't enter one chance, I swear. Now go with the go so. Herdsmen, they kill us every day, for them busy, they campaign again. After they failed all the promises they made, oh, then they praise themselves. Why the masses were supposed to give them the praises we they run to? Who be that? I blame it on the religious leaders. I blame it on the traditional rulers. People were supposed to fight for the people, they don't compromise. Shame on the rebellious brothers. People will cry with us to ring answers. Today them don't join those oppressors, they eat jealous. Something done the smell of. Very soon now we go perceive them. We have up where this government they cause my time bomb. It go soon explode. Revolution they come. It is very close and they feel when the power of the people we triumph, the power of the people in power. They no even care, they no even send. Say the people they die of hunger. Hungry dog is an angry dog. One day you go bite the owner. Idle man is the devil workshop. Many youths for Nigeria no good job. And the country the youths got no future. The country is gone, that's on period. Who be that? I blame it on the judiciary leaders. I blame it on the electoral officials. People were supposed to save the nation, but they collected bribe. Shame on the armed forces. People were supposed to protect the masses. One of them they shoot us anytime they hear.